Hi, I'm Kirsten. We are going through the major arcana, how it manifests in our lives, and how to take that energy and use it for transformation or manifestation in our own personal world, but you can do with the tarot deck yourself. Here it is, y'all. The Devil. This is going to be a windy explanation. This is not clear cut. There's a lot. So get ready. Okay. The devil. Does the devil exist? Yes. Yes. Where? Inside of us. Okay, that is the whole entire lesson, but let me give you some examples. I have a girlfriend many years ago, and we were at a family party, okay? Sorry, I gotta hear my mouth. A family party, I'll quit. And I was like, hey, let's go take a shot of something, of drinking, have a little sneaky extra, And she was like, oh, no, I can't do that. If I do that, I'll wind up at a strip club tonight. And I was like, what? How do we go from a family party going and just hitting, having a little shot of something, to you winding up at a strip club tonight? How is that? And all I can say is, this woman, she knows herself. She's very familiar with her shadow self. She is very familiar with the dark places within her and where they can take her. This is a woman with boundaries, and this is a woman that is not hiding anything about herself. In fact, she's like, oh, here's me, but here's also me. Here's this other side of me that if I start taking shots of liquor, I'm going to wind up doing some crazy dumb stuff. And you see, we're not going to provoke that. We're not going to poke the devil within. She knew herself beautifully. She didn't hide it. Robert Greene writes unbelievable books. He writes this book, and he's like, don't suppress your shadow side. Bring it to dinner. Let it be known. Get to know it. And that is how we're going to try and go forward with this devil card, but it is complicated. The devil is a bully boss or teacher or just a bully in life. Okay? This card right here says, wow, look at us here, chained to the devil. I always say this is like the before picture, and this is like the after picture. Okay, this is why I'm like, be really careful with those contracts. Says because there are consequences to everything if you don't read between the lines. Okay, this is that little nudge in you that just told you not to buy that house, or in my instance, marry that person. This is 10 years of marriage and then 10 years of really difficult recovery. That's a 20-year sentence right there, okay? I spent 20 years dealing with one bad decision. That's the devil. Due because of the Lovers. The devil is, should you have had that one more drink? The devil card is, should you have started watching porn? The devil is, what can you be addicted to? The devil is, what can you become involved with that you cannot easily walk away from? The devil card is, should you be taking those high potency painkillers? The devil card is, know what you are vulnerable to. Know what you can become enslaved to, entangled to, because the devil is the consequence. Okay? And you see, people will argue with me about this is that these two people are here by their own free will. And my response to that is, because of this was their free will. And yeah, they now have to be there because of their free will. But nobody came and snatched them up and hooked them up and is holding them against their will. These are decisions that we make that lead us to places that we never had to go. This is the very hard reality in life. This is that you shouldn't have had that one more drink because now you got a DWI and you're paying out the wazoo and potentially going to lose your license and all that kind of stuff. You didn't have to be here. Does the devil exist? Yeah, the devil does exist. And the devil is when we go against our inner knowing when we knew better. We are our own devil. We put ourselves in our own hell. And sometimes we figure out a way to just lift that chain around our neck and walk off for good. And then there are other times, like I did, where you spend 10 years chained to this horribleness that you never should have even experienced. You never had to be there. The devil is not something scary in the middle of the night that's coming to get you. The devil is you. The devil is you have suppressed things that you really enjoy, and now you feel numb, and all you're trying to do is look for a relief, and so you do something stupid. The devil card is a representation of low self-esteem and not honoring yourself. The devil is a representation of you not standing up for yourself. The devil card is a representation of you allowing yourself to stay in a relationship that is abusive, hurtful, manipulative, narcissistic, flat out bad for you, an energy vampire. The devil is not honoring your time and wasting it on other people, places, or things that you don't want to. The devil is saying, you come before me. I'm going to say that one again. That's complicated. The devil card is also saying, I have these wants and these desires. And then let's say you have a parent or a coworker or a friend, and they're like, oh, no, we need to do this because this is what I want to do. And now you are trapped in a situation dealing with something that you didn't want to do. The devil is the conclusion of bad choices that you made. And when you do the shadow work, when you go through the dark night of the soul, when you do this type of thing, you have to go through and you have to honestly look where in your life you have attachments, you have addictions, you have relationships, which is all the same. You have energy that is only hurting you, that only you permitted into your life. The devil card is a card of responsibility. The devil card is saying, it's your responsibility to take the chains off and to walk away. So, how do we use this energy? Well, you can meditate on this card and you can think deeply about the things that truly hold you back from being who you want to be, going where you want to go, doing what you want to do, saying what you want to say. And whatever it is that is doing that, that is your devil. That's your devil. Okay? So let's say you want to write a book about a taboo topic, but you come from this ultra religious background. And it's like, oh my gosh, no, what if my parents read it? Or my coworkers, or my kids, or whoever. The devil is a representation of what's holding you back. And what's holding you back is what you think their opinion is going to be of you. See, it always comes back to you. Okay? So to meditate and to think of what are the strongholds that are truly holding you back in life? What are they attached to? Who's responsible for them? And how do you let them go? Now remember, I said the devil is you. So that's going to always be the answer to your problems. Because even if you think that a coworker is holding you back, the coworker is not holding you back. There's a million jobs that you can go get doing the exact same that you're doing because you obviously have the qualifications to do it. You can do it in a different environment. So it's you. It may feel like a bully, you know? And I'm not saying that in some cases that that's not true. Some cases you can work for a psychopath. Some cases you can, whatever. What I'm talking about is how you can use this card for transformation in your life. Okay. Now, let's take this a step further. Let's say you have addictions, you meditate and you start to go through that shadow, you start to work on your soul, and you start to honor yourself. You start to remember who you were and how beautiful you were and how you have a purpose and you have feelings and you're made that way because you're supposed to feel important and you're supposed to experience things, okay? So it's like, okay, now the devil was inside of me, and here I've taken off these chains and I put them aside, and I'm free of things that I once was not free of, or what I was once in bondage to of my own free will. And I now know better because I'm not going to go back to, let's say if you have an addiction to food, I'm not going to go back to overeating ever again. I'm clear, free from that addictive lifestyle, and I'm only going to become healthier and healthier and have a better relationship for food coming in the future. Okay, and let's say you go through all these different areas in your life. Okay, whether maybe it's other forms of addiction, maybe it's relationships, like I said, maybe it's thought forms. Okay, let's touch here real quick. This is big. One of these addictions could be shit talk about yourself. Negative thinking. We talked a little bit about this before. You could be addicted to just having a piss poor personality. I mean, if you're a pessimist, that's addicting. Just like an optimist is addicting. Your personality is your personal reality. So if one of your problems is your personal reality, then you have to change your personality. And that's the only way to change that. And that's hard because that's really working on yourself, okay? So, but let's say you do it. Well, now what? Is this card mute? Does it no longer matter? Do you just throw it out of the tarot deck? Like, don't need to worry about that because that will never come up again? No. But when you take the time to go through this, and you're constantly checking your shadow, you're constantly checking, like, is this good for me? Does this take me the direction that I want to go? Okay? And you'll get better and better at seeing things that do not serve you, and you will not get entangled into it, okay? Then how do you use this card? Okay? Another way to use this card is to be the devil. Step in to your shadow. Step into the dark side of your soul and shine from there. How do you do that? You realize that your time and space are so unbelievably valuable that you are no longer susceptible to bullies. You are the bully of your own life. You kick your own ass before you waste your time. You partner with a guardian who will not let you screw around. I've mentioned this before also. People who have guardians that are, from the underworld as opposed to, as opposed to like angelic, okay? There are light and dark angels, and there are light and dark demons and spirits, infernal spirits, I think some people call them. I call them demons because I don't think demons is a bad word, because I can read and I can go through history and break that down, and I'm not going to bore you with that, but whatever. So when you have a guardian demon, okay, and he's like, you're never going to be in this situation again. And if you do, I'm going to show your ass, okay? So I'm going to quickly reveal it to you. And it's not going to be subtle, because if you want for me to protect you, then I'm going to trip you when you are when you are walking into a future addiction or a past addiction instead of just walking by. I'll have to trip you. Or I'll have to do something. And so you can either call in a guardian demon, or you can be your own demon. And you can build your brain up. You can build your consciousness up so much that it can look 365 degrees at any time, see something that is of nonsense, and blow it out of the water. People aren't going to like you as much when you do that, because people who do this is what it looks like. Bullshit. My family members, they have no idea why they hate me so much. Not hate me. They don't think I'm a lot of fun. It's because I cannot stand non-truth. Okay? And so I'm like this. That's not true. No, that didn't happen that way. Nope, that's not true. Nope, that's not true. No. And then they ask me a question and I'm like, I don't know. I just think it's an undesirable characteristic trait of yours. Instead of being like, oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, I guess, whatever. Or going with the flow. It's not that I can't go with the flow. It's that I recognize my triggers. And I say, no, thank you. No. Absolutely not. And if the sweet side and the cute side of me doesn't get across, the bully side of me does. Because I demand, it is a requirement that my boundaries are in place. It is a requirement that I no longer fight demons that I have fought. The dark ones, the bad ones, the addicted ones. This is a complicated card, okay? So before you say, okay, now I become mean, no. What you do is you become possessive of yourself. Possessive of yourself. Possess yourself. Don't let everybody else in on you where they possess you. Don't let everybody else come in and tell you how to think, tell you what to do, tell you how to feel, tell you how to talk, tell you how to dress. No. Possess yourself. First of all, clean your closets in your life, okay? Go into the dark areas of your soul. Clean out the clutter that does not need to be there. The relationships, the thought forms, the habits. Another one is you have to go through the bad experiences. The trauma, the abuse that you didn't ask for, okay? And how do you do that? Well, this is a hard one. You have to forgive yourself for not being able to prevent it. That you just truly were a victim and that's not your fault, and you shouldn't feel bad that was not your fault. But you've got to find a way to let go, detach, cut cords with everything that's holding you back. If you've ever been, I don't even know anybody who's not faced some form of abuse. Some is darker than, some are more complicated and deeper rooted than others, okay? And this is when, get the help that you need. Get control of the devil within you. A lot of definitions to this card. Probably going to catch a lot of hate on this. However, somebody would really have to come looking for this, for this exact video. So that's the good news. How do we work through the dark side? We keep ourselves really aware of our dark side. We don't hide it. I have some really bad things that are happening in my family. Really dark things, okay? And it just got exposed. And we're going to be talking about that pretty soon, because we've got some more really dark cards, and then we've got the sun card coming up, and everybody's like, oh, the sun card's so cute. And I'm like, the sun card means you're going to get burned. Okay, that's just a preview. So some really, really dark things in my family have been exposed. Some people in my family did things that you would never believe that they would do. And they sure as heck did them. And they did it for a very, very long time. And it was absolutely devastating and completely threw the family off. And, my family will never be the same again. And it is very tragic. It is very tragic in so many ways. And so I was talking to one of the people that are involved, and I was like, I think that the whole idea that nobody can believe all this happened and everything like that, that's boring. What I'd like to see is you just own it. Yeah. I'm not who you thought I was. I am capable of things that will blow your mind. I am capable, you don't even know me. Like, that's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear the lies, the bullshit, or anything like that. What I want to hear is the truth. Well, the truth is, I was really unhappy for X amount of years, and I suppressed it. And then finally one day, I saw a way to get out of it. And you know what? My life was so miserable and so terrible, and it was so fake, and I'm so tired of living that way. I saw my opportunity to get out, and without caring about anybody else but myself, that's what I did. And I wish this person would say that, because that's when I would say, I respect what you did, and I'm so sorry that you had to go through something so terrible for so long. To be honest with you, I've been on the sidelines watching you go through this, and it's broken my heart a million times. Thank you for finally standing up for yourself. We will figure a way to redefine our family. That's what I say. But they're chained right here because they won't be honest with themselves, with the devil within them. Did that make sense? Probably gonna have to watch that. Know what you're capable of, and once you know that, you will, and you own that. You be like the story at the beginning when I said, she was like, no, if I take a shot of that, we'll wind up at the strip club. Well, whatever that meant to her was bad. Okay? Know what you are capable of, and don't hide it. That's how you protect yourself from being the victim of yourself, being the victim to the devil. So I'm going to leave this there. There's so much on all of these cards. Okay, so remember, meditate, discover what your strongholds are that you have chosen. They're not really strongholds, okay? This is not a victim card in most ways, okay? Break those chains, or just flip them off of you because you're not chained to them. And then meditate on how to get comfortable being your own guardian devil so that you are protective of yourself. And you call boo on anybody who tries to break your boundaries. I hope that made sense. The next card is the Tower. Like I said, we're going through the shadow cards, Dark Night of the Soul. I promise you it's going to get better. Okay? But we have a lot to learn from all of them. And the next one, all right.